Hello, pals. It's me, Miss P. So what I've got here is this white piece of paper. I'm going to trace my hand on that white piece of paper. And I'm also going to trace a circular head, or a circular head with some ears. Because with this hand tracing and with a head, we are going to be making a polar bear. So right now I'm outlining my hand in Sharpie. I actually kind of regretted doing this because I wanted to cut it all away. You can end up just flipping over your paper if it's blank on the other side, so you don't have any pencil or Sharpie lines. But if you're using scrap paper, which I always recommend you do, you wouldn't be able to do that. So it's up to you. I just didn't like the way that the Sharpie lines were showing up in the end. But the head is going to go right around that thumb, so I was trying to make a head big enough to cover that whole thumb. So that's the size of the head I came up with. It's kind of an oval with two little circles on top, drawing the nose and the eyes for this polar bear at this point. And then I'm going to outline that in Sharpie too, I decide. And this is another moment where I ended up having to cut away all of that Sharpie, all of those Sharpie lines, because I just didn't like the way they looked. But, again, you know, it's up to you. So here are the little feet that are going to be the paws of my polar bear. And here I am outlining the head to finish it up. And then I'm going to set those pieces aside. Okay, so here you'll notice I have a half sheet of blue paper, and I'm cutting up that blue paper with just very angular, straight lines. I'm trying to make some ice pieces that the polar bear is going to eventually stand on when we finish this piece up. So I was just trying to make them with different angles to make them look real and sort of broken apart themselves, and then I think I end up putting a couple of the little pieces in there as well, just because I think there would be some little pieces of ice in the water too. So I grabbed some of those little pieces to add to my work. After that, I'm going to glue them down. Okay, wonderful. Now all of my pieces are glued down. So I'm going to grab a blue crayon. I grabbed a blue metallic crayon because I wanted it to be a little bit more fun. And I'm just drawing some wavy lines that point up and then dip down. Easy peasy wavy lines. After that, I'm going to draw some snowflakes. And first, I started to try to draw my snowflakes with a crayon. But they only looked sort of okay. I wish they were turning out a little bit brighter. So I decided instead of crayon, I was going to grab a colored pencil. And that's how I was going to finish up my snowflakes. So I've got a lot of snowflakes on there. And once I'm done with my snowflakes, I'll get to cutting out my polar bear so I can get my polar bear on this sheet of paper. Okay, so now I've got my pieces cut out, and I actually ended up deciding to turn around my hand drawing and use the other side as the front side so there's no Sharpie lines, like I mentioned before. And then because I already drew the face on my polar bear, I decided to not flip it over, and I ended up just cutting away all of the little Sharpie pieces that I could. And really, I'm just wishing I took the time to flip it over and draw a new face, but you live and learn, and that's why I'm kind of telling you in this video. So I'm going to end up sort of correcting my face a little bit. You'll see me here putting it on, then deciding I do not like it, pulling it off, cutting off the Sharpied bits, and then putting it back. But now that I've got the Sharpied bits off, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I'm going to add some final details with the ears, and then after that, I feel good about this, and I think I'm about to be done. Oh, I also added this gray, so the polar bear's head was a little bit more visible where it ended and where the body started. But that's all. Bye, guys.